JC foul upgraded to a flagrant 1. In judgment of the officials, the foul by Sheldon was unnecessary. The contact to Caitlin Clark's face. Furthermore, there was wind up and impact, and the contact to the face carries a potential for injury. Question: what went into deciding Marina should get a technical instead of something more severe like an ejection? She said the contact made by Mabry did not rise.
The WNBA referees just released their official report on the Fever vs Sun match. And folks, it doesn't just make matters worse, it completely exposes the entire corrupt system for what it really is. These refs have had their say. They've responded to all the criticism. And what we got back was nothing short of a masterclass in how to talk complete and utter nonsense while pretending you're the good guys.
Marina Mabry's technical foul from the Fever Sun game has been upgraded to a flagrant 2, the league told ESPN. A flagrant 2 comes from a standard fine. Additionally, Sophie Cunningham was fined separately for her hard foul with 40 seconds left to play. No players will be suspended. And a lot of fans were really upset about this because if Marina Mabry's foul during the game was called a flagrant 2, like it was upgraded to, then she would have been ejected during the game, and I don't think any of this stuff with Sophie and JC would have happened at the end of the game if the refs would have gotten control of the game much earlier on. And I do think if they would have ejected Marina Mabry during that whole play when she completely blindsided Caitlin, it wasn't a basketball play, it was after the whistle. If she would have been ejected at that point in time, I think it would have set the tone for—
Let me break this down for you, because what we're witnessing here isn't just bad officiating. It's a systematic targeting of Indiana Fever players. That's so blatant, so obvious that even the ref's own explanations can't hide it anymore. If you're wearing an Indiana Fever jersey, particularly if your name is Caitlin Clark, you are literally 10 times less likely to have a decision go your way. And that's not hyperbole, that's just the truth staring us right in the face.
So Caitlin Clark gets poked in the eye, Marina Mabry doesn't even see what happens, and she just decides to clean Caitlin Clark out of it. And the referees just said, nah, it was not worth an injection. But now, in an update, it has been upgraded. It has been upgraded. So she has now been upgraded to a flagrant 2. So basically, all they had to do was just eject her. All they had to do was eject her, and none of this happens. If the referees had ejected Marina Mabry, nothing else happens. The Sophie Cunningham situation.
So, what did head referee Ashley Gloss have to say about this disaster of a game? Get ready for this gem. The contact made by Mabry did not warrant an ejection. Furthermore, it did not fulfill criteria for flagrant penalty. 2. Are you kidding me right now? Marina Mabry blindsided Caitlin Clark, knocked her to the ground from behind after Clark was already dealing with getting poked in the eye. And somehow that doesn't warrant an ejection.
And how the fuck does that not rise to a level of ejection? If someone explain that to me. I think even in the NBA that might have been an ejection. I think both of them would have got ejected. She said additionally it did not meet the criteria for flagrant 1 foul penalty 2. So what does? Right? Question: why did Caitlin Clark get a technical foul? After the foul by Sheldon, Clark reached in an unsportsmanlike manner towards Sheldon. What type of sense? Yo, she got hit in the eye. And then in one angle, it looks like she got damn near punched. And then she trying to get up. She trying to get the girl off her. The girl attacks at her, and then Marina comes and knocks her down. That's crazy. So you gotta wait till something happens so the lead viewership could plummet.
But wait, it gets better. According to Gloss, Clark received a technical foul because she exhibited unsportsmanlike behavior towards Sheldon after getting her eye gouged. So, let me get this straight. You get assaulted on the basketball court, and when you have the audacity to react like a human being, you get penalized for it. That's the level of backwards logic we're dealing with here.
Logic is that Caitlin Clark deserves to have people kind of go at her because she's a trash talker. Okay, if that is the logic. But people are now, the media are now saying Caitlin Clark brings everything on herself. And by the way, Caitlin Clark, if you want to say JC Sheldon getting in her face and like everything until the eye gouge, nobody brings eye gouges on themselves. This is the same as, oh, she brings it on herself with the push-off. Just call the hand check and the push-off doesn't.
The cherry on top. Sophie Cunningham gets ejected for a flagrant 2 foul when she finally decides to stand up for her teammate. But Marina Mabry, who committed what any reasonable person would call assault, initially got nothing more than a technical foul. Only after massive public outcry did they quietly upgrade Mabry's foul to a flagrant 2, but still no ejection. If you are enjoying, please subscribe.
They got it right at the end of the day, but why not get it right away? That is what most of us are talking about, man. There's no way y'all coming after the game and then now you're saying, oh, it should have been a flagrant 2. Oh, we should have. Look, you're catching the smoke and now you want to change it. You need to do it during the game. All right, during the game, go ahead and call it the way it is, man. Stop with the nonsense.
Here's where this gets really interesting. And by interesting, I mean absolutely infuriating. The statistics don't lie, even when the referees do. Caitlin Clark has suffered 17% of all flagrant fouls in the league this season. Let that sink in for a moment. One player accounting for nearly 15th of all flagrant fouls in an entire league. Either Clark is the most reckless player in WNBA history, or, and here's the crazy thought, maybe, just maybe, opponents are targeting her and refs are letting it happen. But the refs want us to believe this is all just coincidence. They want us to think that the most skilled, most watched, most marketable player in women's basketball just happens to be on the receiving end of disproportionate violence. And that has nothing to do with the way games are being officiated.
Detail what you mean by get control of the game, just to be in your words.
Get control of the game is call the fouls that are actually happening on the floor. Right, and consistently call the fouls that are actually happening on the floor. Okay, not just if somebody swings and misses, right? Like, consistently call the fouls.
Coach, do you think it's something pertaining to your team, or do you think this is a league-wide issue?
Well, I've seen quite a few dust-ups in the league so far, so I think it's a league-wide issue. I mean, bad officiating is bad officiating.
And then what did you make of Sophie Cunningham's flagrant foul on JC towards the end?
It was a flagrant foul.
Do you think it's like defending Caitlin or defending the team, or how do you view just how it all?
I view it as a flagrant foul.
I'll ask about the game too.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys came for basketball.
Yeah,
Let's talk about basketball.
Coach Stephanie White saw this coming from the first quarter of that Sun game. She literally told the officials that tensions were building, that something was going to happen if they didn't get control of the situation. And what did the refs do? They ignored her completely, let the game spiral out of control, and then acted shocked when everything exploded. The WNBA itself admitted that referees lost control of the Fever Sun game and acknowledged officiating errors. Yet, the primary disciplinary action taken was against Sophie Cunningham, the player who was defending her teammate rather than the instigator. Multiple sources confirm this isn't just about one game. Complaints about the refereeing have become so consistent and widespread in the WNBA that it represents a pattern of mistakes that are hampering the quality of play. However, Indiana appears to bear the brunt of these mistakes.
Blows my mind how they can somehow get refs for the WNBA that can't control the game. Like, half of your job as a ref is to control the players, control the game, make sure things don't randomly get out of hand. And then you just watch things get out of hand and you're like, dude, this is gonna go so viral later. Like, I'm convinced that's what the refs were thinking last night during the Fever and the Sun game. Dude, this is gonna go so viral later. Cause like, they had no control over that. Absolutely no control over that game, dog. And at the end of the season last year, one of the things I said, like, I really hope changes in the W between last year and this year is that they get better refs that kind of actually give a shit and like know what they're doing. And they haven't done that. They still haven't done